but our mission is to accelerate hyperbitcoinization or Bitcoin adoption around the world. And I think there is some concern about Bitcoiners engaging with governments, and I think this is has been a point of contention or discussion in Germany, especially with the Bitcoin community here. But I think it is a valuable thing to engage, because while we can decide whether to engage or not to engage, the altcoin projects like Ethereum and whatnot, they are going to actively engage. So if we don't at least talk with governments and politicians, then we're automatically at a disadvantage.
The growing connection between Bitcoin and energy could soon send its price soaring to new heights. As countries harness their energy resources for Bitcoin mining, they're not only unlocking fresh economic opportunities, but also speeding up Bitcoin adoption and transforming financial systems. This rising trend has led to intriguing discussions, including a recent analysis by Bitcoin advocate Samson, who emphasized the potential for a significant surge in Bitcoin's value in the days ahead. Mao discussed the increasing acceptance of Bitcoin, highlighting how its growing use in energy-rich nations could drive demand and push prices higher. He also encouraged governments to stockpile Bitcoin and consider adopting Bitcoin treasuries, positioning themselves to benefit from its future price appreciation. Mao noted that as traditional reserve currencies like the US dollar face decline due to excessive printing, Bitcoin is poised to rise as a new global reserve asset. He explained that Bitcoin's decentralized nature and limited supply make it a unique store of value, especially in times of economic uncertainty. While governments struggle with ineffective policies and failed CBDC projects, emerging economies are turning to Bitcoin mining as a path to growth, further boosting the cryptocurrency's market potential. Watch clips from the interview to hear more about Samson Mao's discussion. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications for more updates and in-depth content. Thanks for joining us again. Enjoy the video.
So what happened in 1971? We went off of the gold standard temporarily, but it's not very temporary. And what that led to was basically the elimination of a key property of money, which is the scarcity. So without the anchoring of money to gold, which is relatively scarce, people can print money. Central banks can print money with ease. And this is leading to inflation and degradation of economies around the world. But more importantly, this is a thematic aspect of money that has constantly occurred and reoccurred over time. And we see this with reserve currencies. Every reserve currency lasts roughly about 100 years or so. And it usually declines because of the temptation to print money or to degrade the money. But now we're reaching the end of the lifespan of the US dollar, which is sort of the reserve currency by which all other fiat currencies are pegged to, and the rise of Bitcoin as a potential new global reserve currency. And this is not something that's happened overnight. The dollar in and of itself has been in decline for the past 100 years, effectively losing all purchasing power, dropping to close to zero from 100 years ago. So fiat currencies, when they lose value or when they are rendered worthless, is a very quick phenomenon. And I think this is why people are not appreciating how rapidly Bitcoin can jump to $1 million or even higher, simply because the fiat currencies will collapse. What is the answer to the question of what is money? In my view, money is an abstraction of human time and energy. People like to say Bitcoin is a battery, but it's not a battery in the sense of storing electrical potential, but it's more about human time and energy. And we use money to get ahead. You can work harder and store your time and energy in this money to, say, pass on to your children or to benefit future generations. So Bitcoin is money. And with that, money is now energy and information, because Bitcoin is produced and maintained with energy. So there is a dimensionality of energy here. But at the same time, Bitcoin is also information. It is very easily stored. If you can store 12 words, then you can store Bitcoin. So this transformation is very profound, and I don't think most governments have yet fully understood this transformation. Because if money is information now, and it is decentralized and immutable, which Bitcoin is, then there is no way to control the money supply. And any attempts to do so will usually fail, such as CBDCs or things like that are centralized in nature. And there are attempts to control money, obviously, from many governments and to control Bitcoin, but usually they fail. Efforts like to launch CBDCs, they usually fail even in countries with heavy surveillance, like they ban VPNs or they're monitoring the population. Still, nobody wants to use the CBDC because it is inferior. And when you can benchmark that against something like Bitcoin, which is free-flowing, they obviously trend towards the latter. So with Bitcoin, money is now energy and information. This changes a lot of the global dynamics as well, because many countries that are poor or underdeveloped actually have a lot of energy reserves. So if you're a country with oil, you can take the oil, put it into a barrel, and sell it anywhere in the world. You can't really do that with geothermal or hydro. But with Bitcoin, you can kind of use that energy to accumulate Bitcoin and then sell the Bitcoin. So many countries in the developing world or the global south are interested now in Bitcoin because it unlocks a new period of potential economic growth for them by mining Bitcoin.
Samson Mo highlighted the powerful relationship between energy and Bitcoin, suggesting that countries with abundant energy reserves could mine Bitcoin and effectively convert energy into money. He projected a massive growth potential, estimating that Bitcoin could reach $7 million per coin within the next decade, far outpacing traditional investments like the S&P 500 in gold. Mao explained that every $93 million in new inflows could push Bitcoin's price up by 1%, thanks to a potential 118 times multiplier effect. Countries are already racing to accumulate Bitcoin, with China at the forefront, followed by the United States and Germany. U.S. exchange-traded funds, ETFs, hold over 960,000 Bitcoin, while Germany, known for its significant gold reserves, could potentially establish a Bitcoin treasury. Mao urged nations to start stockpiling Bitcoin now, given its rising value and growing global acceptance. Private companies such as MicroStrategy, Marathon, and Tesla are also building up their Bitcoin holdings, intensifying the competition for this scarce asset. As governments and corporations scramble to mine or acquire Bitcoin, the battle to accumulate it is heating up, setting the stage for a significant price surge in the coming years. Let's go back to the interview and watch more clips to gain insights from Samson Mao.
But the important thing here is that having energy should equal having Bitcoin. So as more and more countries start to realize this change in the equation of wealth, that if they have energy, they have money, the more of them will start to mine Bitcoin. And we've already seen Bhutan has revealed that they hold, I think, 13,000 Bitcoin, and they've been mining for about 4 years. So this is just one that is outed, and they kept it secret for a good amount of time. But I believe there are more countries actually right now that are already using excess energy to mine Bitcoin. So yeah, there are no low energy developed countries. So hopefully nuclear can make a comeback in Germany. So why Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the best form of money that we have, and it's outperforming the blue line, which is S&P 500, and the yellow line at the bottom, which is gold. So it's definitely important for every country to have Bitcoin because there is a large potential for Bitcoin to grow. It's effectively an asymmetric bet. So this is my projection. I'm using 60% median annual growth for Bitcoin price appreciation. And I don't know if you can read the chart, but in 10 years' time, we should be at $7 million per coin. So this is a conservative projection, and I think it's probably going to be higher than this. But, you know, if this is what comes to pass, then I think you should have some Bitcoin. So this is just comparing two models. The orange line is my model, 60% median growth. The blue line is Saylor's Bitcoin 24 model, but I think he's underestimating the growth potential. So there is also a inflow to market cap relationship between money that's coming into Bitcoin and the price appreciation. So in 2021, the Bank of America extrapolated that $93 million of inflows would be required to increase the market, the Bitcoin price by 1%. And if you work backwards, which some people did, it comes out to 118 times multiplier. So $1 increases market cap by $118. And it goes to show that the potential to increase is much lower for Bitcoin than it is for gold or treasuries. But I think that is a bit high. I think it might be more conservative to estimate with a 20x multiplier. But there is a multiplier, and that's the main point. Basically, if if you wanted to buy 245,000 Bitcoin, the market cap you'll add 15 billion, but you'll increase market cap by 300 billion. So the point of this is that to buy back the Bitcoin that was sold is going to be more and more difficult, especially with competition to other countries that are mining or buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin's also going mainstream, which is another reason to start considering building a Bitcoin treasury. You have MicroStrategy with 250,000, and then you have Marathon and Tesla blocking Semler Scientific, which was a new entrant, I think this year, that started mirroring the MicroStrategy playbook. And then you have Metaplanet as well in Japan, which just spun up recently as well. But in terms of the largest Bitcoin reserves, I think right now China is in lead with 190,000, then followed by the US. And then Germany or Saxony had close to 50,000, but that's gone now. And maybe you can get it back. I hope so. But if you look at overall the landscape of Bitcoin reserves, the US actually is a Bitcoin superpower, even though they don't have that many owned by the government. You have MicroStrategy with a very large portion, but the US ETFs now hold over 960,000 Bitcoin. So the race to accumulate Bitcoin is ramping up very rapidly. Germany also has been a country that has a large amount of gold reserves in the past, historically. So it's one of the top. I think after the US, it's number 2. And the US has 8,000 tons and Germany has 3,300 tons, roughly.
In a related development, Microsoft has filed a document with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission regarding potential Bitcoin investments ahead of its 2024 annual shareholders meeting in December. The proposal, initiated by the National Center for Public Policy Research, suggested reviewing Bitcoin as an investment option. However, Microsoft's board dismissed the plan as unnecessary, citing thorough previous evaluations. Historically, Microsoft has kept its distance from Bitcoin, with CEO Brad Smith stating in 2021 that there were no plans to invest. In contrast, Microsoft has made significant moves in artificial intelligence, recently investing 4.3 billion euros in Italy for AI development, supported by Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. The company also partnered with BlackRock to launch a $30 billion AI infrastructure fund. Meanwhile, MicroStrategy, led by Michael Saylor, has aggressively pursued Bitcoin, purchasing 18,300 Bitcoin for $1.1 billion, bringing its total holdings to 244,800 Bitcoin. It plans to issue $700 million in convertible bonds to acquire more Bitcoin, demonstrating a clear commitment to the cryptocurrency. Samson Mao's recent discussions about the growing trend of stockpiling Bitcoin and urging institutions to accumulate the asset resonate with MicroStrategy's strategy, which stands in stark contrast to Microsoft's cautious approach. The SEC filing, though met with the board's resistance, reflects some level of reconsideration, suggesting Microsoft is not entirely dismissive of Bitcoin's growing importance. With the annual shareholders meeting approaching, Microsoft's position will likely be further debated. The company has long emphasized caution when it comes to cryptocurrency investments, but the filing implies some openness to the idea. In light of Mao's remarks on the competition to secure Bitcoin, Microsoft's actions have drawn attention as the company appears to recognize the shifting landscape even as it continues to prioritize AI over digital assets. What implications do you think Samson Mao's predictions and insights have for the future of global economics and Bitcoin's adoption? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video, and hit your thumbs on the like button. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.